and welcome to Cool Breeze Over the Mountains, a podcast where we chronologically step through and discuss each film starring Keanu Reeves. My name is Andrew Gormley, and I am one of your hosts. I am joined on this episode by the Bodhi to my Utah, the Ted to my Bill, the Morpheus to my Neo, Whitney Nelson.
Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be your Morpheus. Anyone who would like to call me their Morpheus is welcome.
Yeah, you got to switch it up. I didn't want to always take the role of Keanu, so it's, sometimes I'm, you're Bodhi. It works. It works.
I kind of agree to being Bodhi, Ted, and Morpheus. That's pretty okay with me.
It's perfect. All right, cool. All right. We've been doing this long enough where I think we have the roles all sorted out, so that makes it all feels pretty good.
Too, which is why we missed Evan so much.
Right. I don't even know who he would have been in terms of those other characters. It doesn't. Maybe he would be the Rufus in the Bill and Ted scenario. I don't know. Just some kind of aloof time traveler gets us back on track. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, this is a big episode. The end of a season. And at the end of a season, we always have our reckoning. So welcome, one and all.
We are here to be called to account and made to atone.
Right. I have some big changes. It's going to be great. But we have a lot to get through.
I have a couple big changes and a few not big changes. Like a fair amount is going to stay the same.
Yeah, I would say let's not get too crazy here, people.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're jumping ahead.
But so up top, as always, I want to mention you can find the website at coolbreezepod.com. Email us coolbreezepod@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at coolbreezepod. A lot of you have done that over the past day or so.
We got a lot of feedback, and I got to say, I'm loving it. I love all of you. It's amazing. We love the feedback, so keep sending it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Questions, thoughts. I just want to hear your general musings, even if they don't have anything to do with Keanu. Keep sending them in because I'm really into it.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been really great. And I don't know if you saw, Twitter just literally maybe hours ago released a feature that lets you send voice tweets, which
I still don't have that feature yet, so...
Yeah, I have it on, it's weird, I don't have it on my main account, but I have it on the Cool Breeze account, go figure, which is, it's like, well, okay.
That's because Cool Breeze is cooler than you individually. It's greater than the sum of its parts, which is why I don't have it on my Twitter and you don't have it on your Twitter, but we have it on the Cool Breeze Twitter.
Exactly. It makes total sense. That all checks out. Let's see, what else can we do here? If you are live watching on the Periscope or Twitch, please feel free to chime in with your 2 cents throughout this. We'll be taking questions. We have a bunch that we have to get through, but if you pile on a few more, I'm sure we can kind of work those in too, or we might answer them. A lot of questions have been asked. It's great. And then finally, if you want to be excellent to us, please just go ahead on your platform of choice, iTunes or Spotify or whatever. Give us a 5-star review, write a review. All that good stuff helps bubble us up to the surface of the and get more people on board
in the endless sea of podcasts that can easily knock a ship over and drown everyone aboard.
I can't even imagine, since we have been quarantined, how many people have turned to podcasts as their coping mechanism and kind of like, let's just do this. It just must be a surge. Not complaining, just saying. It's got to be a lot.
When people ask what I'm passionate about, I have a very hard time coming up with answers, except for a better way to find new small podcasts.
There you go.
iTunes should not be the arbiter of how you find podcasts because iTunes is so biased.
It's true.
And it's people that already have audiences that get into the new and noteworthy on podcasts. It's people who are well-known bloggers or people who are well-known comedians or people who already have a following of some kind, authors. When they start a brand new podcast, they get into new and noteworthy, but no one else ever really does. And I feel like a better way of doing sort of like a Spotify thing of like recommending music that you haven't heard yet, but they think you might like based on their AI. I think we need something like that. But of
Yeah.
course, I have absolutely zero like technical capabilities, so I can't make one of those. It's just the thing that I'm most passionate about the world having.
A lot of
So
ideas.
I'm just going to keep talking until like some developer comes to me and says, I can make this. And then I'm like, great.
Let's work together on this. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
You be the bank, I'll be the money.
We'll put the call out. Yeah, there you go. Consider this your
way to find new podcasts. But until then, rate us 5 stars on whatever you listen to us, because that way we find more people. So we're starting off with the listener mailbag, which is emails from a few of our regulars, a few new folks that we just wanted to share. We are starting out with Zoe, who wrote in kind of about season 3 overall, just opinions on season 3.
Zoe?
This has been a classic season in my eyes, Zoe says. So many great films interspersed with so much guff. True facts, Zoe. Zoe goes on to say, typical Keanu, always keeping you guessing. Love him for that. My thing with Keanu is that he's been with me for most of my life since I was a teenager. His films were my refuge for one reason or another. I watched them purely as entertainment and have never been that critical of them. I only ever wanted to feel better leaving the cinema. So listening to you all talk about the films has opened my eyes to a certain extent. But it's also brought me to people who hold Keanu in as much affection as I do. So thank you for that. And all I have to say is thank you, Zoe. Because we feel kind of the same way. That's why this whole podcast started to begin with, is just finding more people to talk about it with. And I think there's just as much argument for enjoyment without critical thinking as there is for critical thinking about something that you enjoy or something that you're consuming entertainment-wise, and what is good about it and what is bad about it and why it's good and why it's bad. I think it's good to try and keep a healthy dose of both. I try to keep my right brain and my left brain separate while I'm watching and have half of it be the totally absorbed entertain and half of it be the critical. If I can't do that, then I usually just like watch it once to be entertained and then watch it once for critical review. Yeah. But that's something that was trained into me in film school, is trying to keep both aspects in mind at the same time without ruining the experience on one end or the other. So I'm right there with you. It's fun to talk about things in a more critical eye, especially when some of it is very not serious stuff. But it's also good to look at things and say, why is this good and why is this bad and why does this fall down, and what the sort of like social repercussions of certain things are. I think it's always a healthy exercise.
Absolutely. I think that was one of the things we talked about early on when we were watching like 80s Keanu, where we're like, how are we examining this? Yeah.
Well, stuff like Johnny Mnemonic. Like Johnny Mnemonic is a great movie in some respects and a terrible movie in other respects. And what is its lasting impression on humanity and why is like an interesting question to ask.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the giant stuffed dolphin in the tank and you're like, what's going on here? Why is this relevant? That's important.
Yeah. I found myself asking what's going on here in Johnny Mnemonic quite a lot. So, but yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I think that a lot.
We have another one following up in a similar vein. We have an email from Anita, I think is how you say it. It might be Aneta. I'm not sure, but they say, I didn't start your podcast until you were in the middle of season 3, but have binged through almost every episode in the past month. Amazing. Thank you.
Nice.
They say, I rarely look for deeper meaning in movies, but I honestly love how you review every movie with a critical eye, even the bad ones like Henry's Crime and Generation And then in parentheses, sorry, with 3 exclamation marks. And I gotta say, Anita, I am also sorry for watching that movie. Wait, part of our job.
Hold on a second. You're going to put Generation and Henry's Crime on the same level, though?
No, Henry's Crime is way better than Generation
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm also sorry that I had to watch Generation
Okay, I got it.
And then Anita says, thank you for spreading the Keanu love, and I'm looking forward to listening to whatever you cover next. Hopefully we have some news for you, Anita.
Oh, my. We might have saved that for literally the last
For
part
literally
of the show.
the very last thing. We want to keep you until the very end with
Sorry.
or not sorry. You know, that's how the Da Vinci Code sold so many copies, is leaving every chapter on a cliffhanger.
That's
So if
it.
we can do it, if we can string you along until the end, why wouldn't we?
That works.
We also have a message from Lily, who says, "Greetings from Belgium. I don't listen to many podcasts, but love Keanu, so I'm here. Thank you all for all of the laughs, and while I don't always agree with your feelings on the films, it is nice to sit and listen to you have a discussion. It's like being with friends. Looking forward to more episodes with all of you, and party on, dudes." And
nice.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lily.
Belgium. So cool.
Belgium. Love your fries. Love your chocolate.
It's great.
Love your
What's not to love?
tartines.
Yeah. A person of culture. Clearly, a person of culture. Everything that they have in Belgium, and they chose our podcast to listen to. Okay. So
Belgium
we're in good company.
is like the epicenter of most of Western Europe. So
there we go. There we go.
It's a melting pot and a cultural hotspot and full of people with intelligence and ideas. So that's Lily, that one's for you.
Zoe also said, "Love your beer," which is yes, Belgian beer. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Belgian beer for sure. 100%. Great beer.
Oh my.
Thank you, Lily. We love you. And then finally, we have Claire Marinello, who reached out on Twitter with the following short story, which says, "I just got to your hardball episode. I don't know about all white people, but I and my sister's Girl Scout troop were surely shocked. We were only 10 to 12 years old and saw it for a, quote, media research badge. We had to try to predict the plot from the trailer, and we did not succeed."
There's a small follow-up to this story that I forgot to paste in here. Claire followed up and said, "Whatever level of discomfort you're picturing, please add 10 points for this being the same week as 9/11. One girl in the troop couldn't come because her mom didn't want her going out, quote, while we were at war." It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, man.
That is...
I remember that week. That was weird. I was in California. Like, you could not be further away from 9/11 at the time. And grocery stores were closed and Disneyland closed. It's a big deal when Disneyland closes. Like, that's how you know how big a deal COVID-19 is how long both Disneyland and Disney World have been closed. Because outside of 9/11, there's a handful of days in which Disneyland was closed. And that was one of them. And that was one of the biggest deals in Southern California. So I totally get not wanting a troop meeting to happen because of it, because everyone was. But yeah, that's a lot. I don't think that I was shocked by the Hardball episode. But I was 36 when I watched Hardball and not 10 to 12 years old.
Sure.
So I feel like my worldview was a little bit more prepared for that movie.
I couldn't imagine being like, I don't know how they marketed that movie when it was out. It's like that escapes me. But like, you figure like from the marketing, it was probably like, it's kids on a baseball team, and their coach is Keanu Reeves.
It to be like Mighty Ducks or something,
yes,
and instead,
that's exactly it.
It's very different than it's like. And I know I've talked about this before, and I'm sure I'll talk about it again because it was such a big deal to me. But how the movie Catfish was advertised versus what it was.
Yeah.
Being like a Blair Witch sort of mystical thriller, and then actually just being a documentary about a sad old lady who wanted to have contact with somebody.
Got hoodwinked.
And like, I'm fine with that as a documentary about a sad old lady who's finding people on the internet to catfish because they want a personal connection. That's fine if that's what you're selling me. I don't want to go to the theater expecting some crazy found footage Blair Witch style something and then getting a documentary about a sad lady.
Right. Please
And
don't
I feel
do
like
that.
I'm sure that Hardball was the same sort of thing, where it was like Angels in the Outfield or Mighty Ducks or one of those kinds of kid sports movies, Little Giants or something. And then it
Yeah.
being what it was would definitely be a bit of a shock.
Sure. Especially, I think I seem to remember that there was pretty strong language in that movie, even though it was cut down
that's the big thing,
significantly.
especially for 10 to 12-year-olds in a Girl Scout
Yeah.
troop. The language is probably more shocking even than the.
Yeah. Claire, I hope you got your media badge. So
I hope so.
and I hope you're not too traumatized by that culmination of events with all of that happening.
But now, Andrew, it is time for you to pull out your big data machine.
Oh my gosh.
And all of the facts and figures that you have fed into it over the last season of the podcast and give me some dirt on where we are with the big data machine.
We have some great stuff, some truly great stuff, even though this season, as you're about to hear, was not the strongest season. So here we go. Season 3, if you were following along with us, that means that you also watched 28 hours and 6 minutes worth of Keanu movies, which was an average of about 1 hour, 45 minutes per movie, which is pretty cool. Okay.
And about 14 hours too many.
All right. All of those movies could have been cut in half.
Not
and
all
still
of them,
been fine.
but a lot of them. And some of them could have been not made and still be fine.
Yeah. Agreed. And we'll get to some of those. So
Yeah.
that also means that we talked about Keanu movies according to our episode lengths for 23 hours and 4 minutes. And we are great at averaging that sweet spot of 90 minutes per episode, just under.
So we save you 15 minutes on average from watching the movie, or we cost you an extra hour and a half if you've both watched the movie and then listened to us talk about it.
Right. That's the real problem right there. But yeah, the whole truth was our shortest episode at just 54 minutes. Longest episode was The Bad Batch, which will be in your feeds tonight. It's done. I just didn't put it out. That was just over 2 hours and 2 hours, 6 minutes roughly. And boy, what an episode that was. I can't wait for y'all, if you weren't live, to hear how that turned out.
That was quite an episode. We really, I mean,
some of the chapter markers include cannibalism as a choice.
Yes. Today, when I was getting ready to come up here into my podcasting closet, my boyfriend said that he had walked past and heard my effusive advocacy of cannibalism. And I'm like, whoa. It was not effusive advocacy of cannibalism. It was just a non-opposed stance to cannibalism, which I guess to some people could be effusive advocacy.
You dared people to find someone more delicious than you. So I'm just...
I believe that wholeheartedly. I will go to my grave believing that I'm more delicious than the average person to eat.
All right. There we go. The average critical rating of our season 3 films was 44%, which hurts. The average audience score was 45%. So that's down. It sounds worse than it is. Last season, season 2, the critical score was also 44%. The audience score was 58%. And then our first season was our strongest season. Critical score averaged at 68%.
But keep in mind that the first 2/3 of season 1 don't have a critical score.
That's very true, right? Because it was every maybe
and some of them didn't even have an audience score because some of that early stuff in Canada doesn't have a page in Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't exist as far as Rotten Tomatoes is concerned.
Right. They're like, that's not a thing. Don't do that. Whitney, you and I are completely in sync this season. Our recommendations are identical. Every time we decided not to recommend a film, the other one was on the same exact page, which is very cool. Very cool. We had 6 films this season that none of us recommended. That is including The Third Chair. That would be the case. That feels about right. Like, I've gone through past seasons, and in ratio to how many films we've watched, 6 feels about right for the 17 films, right? About a third. We were like, nah,
yeah.
don't do it.
About a third.
As of this recording, which is today, I pulled the numbers. Our top 5 most downloaded episodes, and this is excluding things released this season because it felt weird to have like Exposed, which was just like a few weeks ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? But as of this recording, top 5 most downloaded episodes look like this: Point Break, The Matrix, The Devil's Advocate, My Own Private Idaho, and Speed. And that is not what I would have expected, truly, at all.
I think that everything but My Own Private Idaho makes total sense. Point Break makes sense because when we talked about this podcast before we even started, everyone was like, I can't wait till you cover Point Break.
Yeah. I mean, that one feels right.
The Matrix makes sense and Speed makes sense because they're, in my opinion, his 2 biggest pre-John Wick like high spots. The Devil's Advocate is pretty controversial, so I can see people wanting to know what people had to say about The Devil's Advocate. What surprises me is My Own Private Idaho.
I could have swore that it just felt like Excellent Adventure should be up there.
But I feel like everyone knows how they feel about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I feel like some of this is people seeking outside opinion on stuff that they weren't quite sure on themselves or have mixed feelings about, like The Devil's Advocate. And that's why I think My Own Private Idaho would be on this list. But I don't necessarily, I would not have expected it at all.
Yeah. It's cool. I like
a good list.
Those are, I mean, you're looking at those and then I compare it to my top 10. I'm like, oh, okay. Quite a big overlap there. So that's good. Our least downloaded episodes, again, excluding ones released this season, look like this. I'm going to read them in the reverse order because these would be the bottom 5 in descending order. Permanent Record, Ellie Parker, One Step Away, The Prince of Pennsylvania, and then the dead last is Flying / Dream to Believe, which is, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That is crazy because, I mean, honestly, Flying was not good, but also it's like a super niche, kitschy 80s gymnastics movie. And so I actually feel like for example, Generation is that in season 3? Was Generation in season 3?
Yeah, that's 2? This season. Yeah. Well, by the time we get to the next either Reckoning or when we finish up, I'll compile a similar list.
One Step Away, Ellie Parker, and Permanent Record. I'm totally on board with all of them because they are some of my less favorite movies, but also they're more obscure, I feel. Prince of Pennsylvania is interesting to me on that list. But I feel like Flying would have a higher just overall audience count because people like kitschy niche 80s movies.
Yeah, I can get behind that. There's a bunch that I felt like were more obscure and not as I thought like maybe Little Buddha would be down there, but
no, because Little Buddha is one of the ones that like a lot of us had heard of, even if we hadn't seen it.
I guess it might also have to do with the access.
I feel like the awareness is a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, some of these were not even like available unless you illegally pirated them.
Yeah.
Which we did not.
No. It's impossible.
We are very law-abiding citizens.
It's all on the up and up here. At Cool Breeze HQ.
Yeah.
Another cool thing is on this season, we had 5 different co-hosts sitting third chair, 4 of them brand new to the show. So we had Asia Romano return, which was wonderful. I hope to have her back before. We literally have 10 episodes left. So I'd love to have her back on for one of them. And we have a lot of great movies in that 10. So pretty cool. Eric Hall, Lindsay Nelson, of course, Elizabeth Norton-Holt, and Eric Smith. So it's a big round of applause for them all showing up, doing the homework. It's a little bit of it's a little bit of work to do this. You got to watch the movie, formulate thoughts.
It is. You can't just show up and say stuff. You have to like take some notes and absorb some media and really think about it. Because we're going to ask you to talk critically about it. So it's not like a thing you can just hop into feet first without any prep.
Yeah. And then the final data point from the big data machine, surprising no one, Whitney. You have the most pop quiz asshole wins this season with 9 total, which is half, of course.
That's 50%. Yeah, that's good.
Damn it.
I didn't feel like I did that well this season. I feel like I was usurped a lot more.
There were some surprise wins there.
Yeah.
I got 5, which I feel pretty comfortable with. And then Asia and Lindsay both have a win under their belt as well. So that's great. That's very cool. I have a couple other cool things, data things. I'm not going to I think what I'll try to do is maybe put together like a cool infographic or something and just throw it up on Twitter. But I keep like that running list of the things we recommend, don't recommend, lots of percentages and averages and stuff. So it's really cool. Now we're getting to listener questions. I'm going to let you talk for a little bit now. I got to answer these together, but we will answer
these together. Yeah. So we reached out on our last live episode and also posted on Twitter for all y'all to send us your favorite movie of this season, your least favorite movie of this season, and what you think was the most overlooked movie of this season. We also put out a call for questions just sort of in general, and you guys really responded. You really came in with your questions, which is amazing. So we started at first to group these by person who asked them. So we're starting with Jody's questions. Jody Faraci or Farasi. I'm still not sure which one it is. Is it a hard C or a soft C, Jody? Let us know.
I think it's Chi, Faraci.
Yeah,
I think
it is.
I remember
too.
I pronounced it correctly the first time, but then I can't remember what episode that was, so I can't reference it.
So Jody has a couple of questions. Jody asks, how do you all know one another?
What? How do we know each other?
Kind of a long story, Jody, in which we are friends with a very large circle of mutual friends who all come out of a once popular blog in Philly called Geekadelphia.
Yeah.
But Andrew and I think, never hung out in person except for that Wii U party and maybe 2 weddings, maybe 1 wedding.
Yeah, I feel like also maybe a Geek Awards or 2. I was always working at the Geek Awards.
Yeah, you were working and I was audience at the Geek Awards. But every year, Geekadelphia would get together like a group of Philadelphia teachers, people in STEM, people who are making comic books, people who are running comic books, movie makers, all sorts of people in different fields that could fall under the umbrella of geek. And we gave them, we did like a black tie Academy Award style award show. And it was amazing. I'm sad that it's gone, but I was at all of those for the last 3 years of the Geek Awards. So we were in a lot of same places at the same time, but we really weren't friends until we started doing this podcast. Like, I followed Andrew on Twitter and Facebook forever because we're a part of the same sort of friend circle. But we definitely didn't know each other. And then Andrew posted on Facebook one day and was like, who would be interested in talking about Keanu like a lot? And I said, me. And Andrew had listened to me talk about video games on another podcast. And he was you're definitely in. And that was how this happened.
That's it. Nailed it. That's the whole thing right there.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole friendship. And honestly, like, we were definitely friendly. There's one picture of us together from that Wii U party that Andrew found.
I can post that. I'll post that on the Twitter account. It's hilarious.
But we really didn't like hang out or know each other super well. We were not what I would consider friends until we started doing this podcast. And now it's harder to be closer bonded with a person than you are after doing 3 seasons of Keanu movie watching with them.
Right. It's like the only step after this is like blood oath, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the situation.
Yeah.
So
yeah, where we're like spitting in one another's palms or mingling blood or something. Yeah. This is
Perfect.
really trial by fire for friendship.
Yeah, we did it. We're doing
it. We did. We're in it.
Oh, man.
Okay,
Good.
so
That was a good question. All
it
right.
was a great question. So now the next question from Jody is, who's your favorite non-Keanu actor and favorite actress?
Oh, my. Jody.
This is like a crazy hard question, and honestly, it changes all the time. Like, the mood I'm in today is not the mood I'm going to be in tomorrow, and my answers are going to change. I have to say, I thought about this a lot. I did not think about favorite actress a lot, but I did think about favorite actor a lot, and I think my all-time favorite actor is Stanley Tucci.
The Tooch.
The Tooch.
I love it. I love it.
I was thinking about it in terms of if I'm watching a movie and someone shows up, who am I the most stoked to see?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the answer is Stanley Tucci.
That's cool.
I have a lot of my favorite actors are like character actors. I like Oliver Platt a lot. I like Stanley Tucci a lot. I like I'm trying to think of favorite actresses, and I think right now my favorite actress going is Emma Stone.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Yeah.
Because I am equally as hype when she shows up in a movie as I am when Stanley Tucci shows up in a movie. I don't necessarily think that she has the same career length as Stanley Tucci does, but she's one of those ones that I get hype about. Kathy Bates is also one. I get hype when Kathy Bates is in a movie.
Yeah. I think of Kathy Bates. It's weird because I'm not a huge fan of the series per se, but I've seen enough of it to know like her in American Horror Story. She's incredible on that show. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but
Zoe
great.
just said Peter Stormare, and that is another great answer. I do get hype when Peter Stormare gets in a movie. When I'm seeing a movie and I don't know he's in it, and then Peter Stormare shows up, I like hop out of my seat. I'm so excited. So that's a great answer because, you know, there's people who are good actors who I will watch anytime. There are certain people that will like get me to a theater, but the people who you genuinely get like your heart leaps in your chest and you're like, oh my God, they're in this movie are what I consider my favorite actors rather than like biggest names or most popular right now. And so it's stuff like Peter Stormare and Stanley Tucci and what's his name? The German guy or Austrian guy who's in Inglourious Bastards. And then he didn't even know English when he first started making movies.
Yes, I could picture him. He was also in Django Unchained.
Yeah. He's been in a ton of movies. What is his name?
God, what is that guy's name? Hold on. I'll pull it up here.
I gotta go to the Google machine.
That would be Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz. Love him. He's a great actor.
Yes. Truly.
I do think Emma Stone and Kathy Bates are probably two of my highest ranked female actresses.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, those are good choices too. Strong. They seem to be very selective about the projects they choose, but excel in every one of them.
They bring their essence to the party, which is what I'm here for.
That's it.
I'm here for like a unique character in a script that you bring your own twist to. And I think that's why Keanu is such why we're here for Keanu, but also people like Stanley Tucci or Kathy Bates, Peter Stormare.
Yeah. Okay.
What are your answers? I feel like I've done the dominant favorite actor talk.
I had to think a lot about this to come up with a really good answer. I think my favorite actor, if I like, and we're not talking about if it has to be not Keanu, I think it might be Jeff Bridges.
Interesting.
I have seen I was thinking about it. It's like I have seen so much that he has done, and he has done everything. Like that guy can make me laugh. He can make me cry, and he just has this way about him. And The Big Lebowski is one of my favorite movies of all time. Just like, I love that movie. It's such goofy fun. Um, and that actually got me thinking about one of my favorite actresses also in that movie, Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore is
So,
incredible and also a very
yeah.
good choice. Julianne Moore is a standout. I love the variety of stuff that she's been in. When she showed up in Evolution as the like
Yes.
klutzy scientist, I was like, this is
Oh,
so against type. But then the more you get to know her, the more you're like, that's not against type at all. That's totally up her alley. I
yep.
just love how she can do the serious stuff and the goofy stuff. And she's so genuine in everything that she does. I am 100% in for Julianne Moore. It's a
Yeah.
great choice.
You could probably look at any, if you wanted to know like the actors that I really like, just look at Coen Brothers movies. Cause I feel like they cast everyone I love.
They get the good talent, for sure.
Do.
We also have Zoe saying Emma Thompson, which is also a great choice. I love Emma Thompson.
Yes.
And we also have Melissa saying Tilda Swinton.
Of course.
Lindsay would kill me if I didn't say Tilda Swinton.
Yes.
Lindsay is the number one Tilda Swinton fan on the planet. There's also, I love that period of film right around Hail Caesar, but I don't remember what else came out at the time, but there was like 8 movies that came out in a row where Channing Tatum came in and was only in the movie secretly for like 20 minutes and was like the most charming 20 minutes of the movie and then went away again. I feel like that didn't continue for very long, but for a while there, Channing Tatum was my favorite actor because he wasn't starring in stuff outside of Magic Mike XXL. He was just showing up, being handsome and charming for a couple of minutes and then disappearing again. And I think that's the most incredible career you could hope for in entertainment. And so for a while he was up there, but I don't think he's anywhere near someone like Peter Stormare or Christoph Waltz or Stanley Tucci. So
that's it. Zoe in the chat also, you might do self-harm if you didn't mention Gillian Anderson, and I would have to agree as well.
I mean,
you would have to.
I've said on this very podcast that Gillian Anderson could climb me like a tree.
It was one of our listeners' absolute favorite chapter markers that we've ever done. The things we would let Gillian Anderson do to us.
The answer is anything.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect.
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
So we've got another question from Jody, who is, if you could choose only 3 films to watch from here on out, from all the films we've watched over the past 3 seasons, but we have to exclude Bill and Ted, Matrix, and John Wick franchises, which 3 would we choose?
Jody! Why did you do this to us?
It's a heck of a question.
Yeah. I got it. I think I got it. You ready?
I mean, I think it pretty much is consistent with my current top 10 rankings.
Yeah. It would just, we take out, I would probably. Speed feels pretty good. Yeah.
I know Much Ado About Nothing because I watch Much Ado About Nothing once or twice a year, every year since it came out. And then probably, Constantine.
Yeah, I would not go straight down the list of like, because if you take my, The Matrix and Bill and Ted and they're like right there, I would probably actually go Speed, and then I would drop down a little bit and I would, I would definitely hit The Replacements because again, it just has a special place in my heart. I don't know why. And then, God, what would number 3 be? I know. I don't.
I mean,
and that's just like it's a nostalgia thing.
Yeah. Okay. Bless your heart.
And maybe, what's the third one? No, I can't scroll any lower than that. I can't do it. Man, is it Tune In Tomorrow? I don't know. Is it Tune In Tomorrow?
It might be Tune In Tomorrow, which is
I think it's gotta be.
That was not a good movie, but it was so charming in a way that is so hard to put your finger on.
I think
there was so much bad storytelling in that movie.
It was awful.
Also, there was so much good acting, and I just love a period piece. Also,
yeah, Keanu looking so dapper, that hair all slicked back.
I don't know. I haven't watched Tune In Tomorrow since we watched Tune In Tomorrow, So
Might be worth a
I don't
revisit.
know.
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
if I probably should revisit it.
Yeah,
All right.
that's great.
Zoe asks, what have you learned from this Keanu experience? Which is a really good question.
So much.
I think the number one thing that jumps into my mind is no movie is as bad as I think it is.
Yeah.
I think that I have never, like, I went to film school, we talked critically about films and picked certain things apart, but I have never been this subjected to the whims of whatever's coming at me when it comes to entertainment. I've been very, like, selective and pick and choose what I'm most in the mood for. And I
Mhm.
think that there have been some truly horrifying movies to sit through, but all of them had something that I could say something good about, or something that I enjoyed, or something that I noticed. And so I really think that my bar for a bad film has changed dramatically. And I also think that it has taught me to look more critically at stuff that I'm watching as I'm watching it. I was definitely I have ADD. I was a big uh criminal in the doing three other things while watching a movie I've never seen before sense. And that's fine if it's something you've seen before and it's on in the background and you want to wash dishes and also be on Facebook on your phone and playing solitaire or whatever. Like, that's great. But if it's something you've never seen before, you owe it to yourself to give it your full attention, at least until there are definitely movies in Keanu's, whole steez that I would not have finished, that I would have turned off, but there was still
Mhm.
something to be gained out of everything. And I think that's the biggest thing that I learned from the Keanu experience.
Yeah. I to piggyback off of that, it is an interesting exercise to take an actor and just focus on the things that they've done, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have discussed in our group chat that we maybe set the bar a little too high by picking Keanu, because not a lot of people have taken as many chances as he has in
Yes.
terms of the
Yes.
roles.
Like, and I've said this before as an example, but if we did a Meryl Streep podcast, we would have the same kind of movie for most of her career.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's done a few things that are off the grid or a little bit different, but all of them are in the same sort of realm and genre. Keanu Reeves says yes to so many different kinds of things and is all over the map.
It's nuts. It's nuts. Yeah. So going through this again, there are things that, based on either premise alone or the fact that it was in a specific genre, and I would just be like, no, thank you. That's not my bag.
Mm-hmm.
But having actually watched a lot of these, I'm like, well, these are delightful. Like, the biggest example I can give is the number 5 movie on my list, Much Ado About Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we made a movie about work from Shakespeare, and there'll be some singing, and it'll jubilant, and I'm like, no, I don't need that. If you had asked me, I'd be like, no, I don't think I need that in my life. And when I watched it, I was like, this is the most delightful thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I love it.
So I think I started learning this from the Keanu experience before last October, but also my boyfriend is fairly active in Something Awful forums, which is like Reddit, but totally different from Reddit. And I don't want to get into any internet commentary about why Reddit and Something Awful are different or the same.
Uh-huh.
Please don't at me. Normally I'm 100% you adding me, but let's just say it's a forum. They have a bunch of different kinds of channels, but they did a Halloween. Every year they do a Halloween challenge, which is 31 different movies throughout the month of October. And a lot of them have themes. Like, it has to be female led, or it has to be a reboot of a horror movie that already existed, or it has to be whatever. And I think these parameters that don't let you pick and choose expose you to some stuff that you never would have seen before. And actually, really, I like now being forced to watch something that I would not pick and choose. Like, I feel like I will continue going forward to try and watch things in terms of challenges. Like, what's find a female director on Amazon Prime movie or whatever. Like, whatever the case may be, you have to fit certain criteria. Keanu Reeves is in it or whatever. It has to have less than 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, whatever it is.
Oh, no.
I feel like pushing you out of your comfort zone has made me so much more open and shown me so much more stuff in the last year that I never would have watched, that I really like, that I will probably try to continue in my life some way or another, whether I'm doing a review podcast or not.
Okay. Yeah, well said. Zoe actually said, I guess answering her own question, but hopefully, he's taken so much shit from people who haven't watched his films. This is Keanu. So he's like prejudged a lot. So just watch the movies. And that has actually changed my mind quite a bit too. Like, yeah, he's in some bad stuff, but.
Well, like I was so sure for so long, for years, even though I love rom-coms, I was like, I will not watch The Lake House. I refuse to watch The Lake House. The Lake House was a perfectly delightful movie. I don't know why I had such an opinion about it, but it was clearly formed by other people, and I regret it because it was a delightful movie.
Yeah. And as we have also discovered, you and I both firsthand, The Watcher is not his worst movie.
No.
By a long shot.
I will watch The Watcher again. There are a lot of movies that he has made that I will not watch again.
Yeah. So, agreed. You gotta do the work. You can't just take everybody's word for it. It's important to, if you like Keanu or whoever your favorite actor is and you hear, oh, that's not great, do the work. Watch the thing.
Yeah. So Zoe also asked, do you miss Evan as a dynamic on the podcast?
No. Sorry. There's more.
That's funny. I asked this as Evan seemed to be the one who didn't seem to care what others thought, i.e. chain reaction. I definitely think that I do miss Evan on the podcast. I definitely, this is not him not being on as much, is really more about life not being, allowing like a weekly podcast with no breaks. Evan just got too busy for that. That is not a lack of Evan wanting to be on the show or us wanting him to be on the show. We just figured we would fill in the slots with other people that we knew that would be interested. But I do feel like he had the most different viewpoint of anyone that we've had on the show as a guest host. I feel like, and I don't want to say he's the common man or like the average Joe, but I feel like his drive towards action overwhelmed other critical thinking about movies or other kinds of movies. And I think that added a very different dynamic. Everyone else that we've had on the show is someone who, as a general rule, as a hobby or as a career, has an opinion and a viewpoint about critical like pop culture in one way or another, and its relevance to the world at large and its relevance in a certain particular history of cinema and whatever. Eric is a huge cinema nerd. Eric Smith is, very ingrained in storytelling. Lindsay obviously is a big person breaking down bigger questions and that kind of stuff. You can only have so many people who are like me, who are talking about Dracula and being like, I realized halfway through this movie that it was about the AIDS epidemic. And I feel like there's not enough of I just sat down to enjoy the movie and I did or did not. Also, Evan and I are pretend frenemies. Evan and I have a friendly antagonistic relationship online and a little bit on the podcast, but honestly more in the like Facebook chat for the podcast.
It's so funny. Yes.
And I miss that a lot.
But
I think that everyone has brought something different to the table. And I think even just between you and me having different viewpoints, and even though we're both somewhat related to the field of entertainment and have a certain critical eye for things, I think anytime you get different people on talking about their thoughts and feelings, you're going to get different opinions and different people reading different things into it. And so it's great with everyone that we've had on. And it's great when it's just been me and Andrew and we haven't had a third person on. But I definitely did. I do think we're lacking a touch of Evan in this season.
We're gonna we have 10 episodes left, and I'm
Mhm.
hoping that he could be on one of them. And even if we have to bribe him with like John Wick 3 or something, we're like, all right, or Toy Story, whatever he wants to do. Yeah, Jody, music knowledge, cars. These are all things that we're lacking now.
Oh,
We don't
we
know
are
what the
definitely
cars
lacking
are.
cars without Evan
Yeah.
around.
It's a fast one. It looks like it. I can tell you when it's a DeLorean or not. I know all about the Back to the Future, and then everything else is a Mazda. So, great.
Zoe asked another question that is clearly pandering to Melissa specifically.
Unbelievable.
Melissa's not even on this podcast, but Zoe's clearly pandering.
She's in the chat. She's going to love it.
So Zoe said, is there Keanu film which is not so great, but you think should be higher on the list because you love it, e.g. Street Kings?
This is unbelievable.
Amazing.
I feel attacked. You might be in for a surprise later on, because we are. This is a reckoning. And
this is a reckoning. So
Kings...
I do feel like we're going to talk about some of that. I think that, like, The Man of Tai Chi surprised me because I'd heard no one talk about it, but it was such a great film. So I definitely don't think it falls into this question of not so great, but you think should be higher. Because Man of Tai Chi should be higher, but it should be higher because it's an incredibly well done movie that I'd never heard about at all. Mm-hmm. I am going to move Johnny Mnemonic higher on my list in this episode. So I think that's probably the biggest one that I think should be higher. I think Johnny Mnemonic, I kept pushing lower in my list because of just technically how much set design and how much whatever and how much story just didn't play for me. But I think overall, as a wacky cult classic, it's grown on me in retrospect a lot. Yeah. And I think that one should be higher on the list for me because it's better than I have it. I have it ranked at like 27 and it should be higher than that.
Okay. Yeah, that checks out. I'd say for me, I already put this movie pretty high. And if they had just made some tweaks to it, it could have been a great, like the exact movie that I needed. But it's Henry's Crime for me.
Yes, Henry's Crime was so close but missed the mark. I agree. Yeah. That's a good one too. Henry's Crime is pretty low on my list. But it was so close to being a bunch of things that I liked.
Yeah, it had like, I was like, it was just left of center. You just missed. So I would go with Henry's Crime for this one, for sure. Mm-hmm. These questions.
Great questions.
Good Lord.
So Melissa asked, does Keanu know about this podcast?
I hope so.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
But if someone ends up on a motorcycle at an intersection next to him, tell him about Cool Breeze.
Right. Just Google Cool Breeze over the mountains. And we're number one.
As far as I know, no one has reached out to him. I don't know. Have you reached out to him, Andrew? You do the most promo.
I don't know how to get. He's off the grid. Like, he is not an online at all.
No,
he doesn't have a Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and he's probably better off for it, to be honest. But
well, I mean, we definitely don't pull our punches as far as. I feel like overall we give him a much fairer shake and much higher regard than the average person. But I do think there are some things he probably doesn't want to hear in this. So, and I will, if he ever hears about this podcast and wants to talk to us about it, I will yell at him for everything Dogstar related that happened to me.
Right. That's the, it's like, how dare you allow them to credit you in Me and Will, in Ellie Parker, and name the other 2 or 3 movies that he was Dogstar in.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, if anyone sees him and wants to tell him about it, go for it. But he's not super accessible. So
when Bill and Ted 3 finally gets to us,
Mhm.
I will at the shit out of Alex Winter, as Melissa suggested in the chat, and just be
Yeah.
like, we reviewed it. Like every day I'll do it. Wear him
Yeah.
down.
We will
Listen.
do our best, but honestly, he is kind of a hermit, so it's hard to get in
Right.
front of Keanu.
It's nice. It's nice.
And then Melissa asks, again, whose movies are up next? And Melissa, I'm just going to have to tell you to wait a little bit.
Stand by.
We're holding that reveal for the end of the podcast, but we have picked a person.
It's done.
But you have to wait until the end.
Okay.
Do you want to take over now and do George and Christine's questions?
Yeah, I could do that. Okay. So George asked if Keanu Reeves, George sent in a bunch, by the way, so we can kind of rapid fire some of these. And some of them are just like a yes, no.
Mm-hmm.
If Keanu Reeves ever got to play a historical figure, which one would you like to see him play?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Wow. Just plucked it right out of the air.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Damn.
That was just my gut instinct. Teddy Roosevelt was a weird character and like had a bunch of guinea pigs and named him crazy stuff and like rode horseback and was a cowboy but also saved all the national parks. And like there's a lot of weird Teddy Roosevelt stuff, but I think that it would be interesting to bring Keanu's energy to it.
That's interesting. I don't have a great answer to this because for me, I try to like pair people up that would be like visually similar, but you know, like you could definitely like pull a Christian Bale. Like if you would have told me that Christian Bale would disappear into these roles where he loses 100 pounds or gains 200,
I mean, Keanu Reeves looks like nothing like Teddy Roosevelt at all.
Yeah, no,
that is definitely not my casting for sure.
Zoe says Neil Armstrong. That might be pretty neat.
Neil Armstrong, huh? What about Neil Diamond?
Yes.
I would watch the shit out of a Neil Diamond biopic starring Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Man, I don't know. Just doing I'm thinking like some sort of a writer. Like that's kind of the energy that he brings to it for me. Like, let's go back. Like, I want him to be,
what if we rebooted Quantum Leap with Keanu Reeves and then he played a lot of historical figures?
All of them. Yes, that's it. Maybe, keeping in the writerly thing, maybe like if we go way far back, maybe Aristotle or something like that. I don't know. Something that we don't have a reference.
King might be interesting.
Ooh, yeah, that's cool.
I think Keanu could pull a Stephen King vibe pretty well.
Yeah, little off.
Yeah, a little off center.
Sure.
But Stephen King is also a pretty reserved person at the same time as being off center and a little bit wacky. And I think Keanu could do that very well.
Yeah, I dig it.
All right.
Next up, what film are you anticipating more and why? Matrix Returns or John Wick Chapter 4? You're killing us.
Yeah, this is a hard one, but definitely John Wick Chapter 4. I'm not going to lie. I have very high hopes for Matrix, but the John Wick movies are my top favorite Keanu movies. So I am more excited for Chapter 4 overall. The Matrix Returns, I have high hopes for. But if you had a gun to my head and said I could only see one, 100% John Wick would be my choice.
I would go, so I in my brain, I went to the Matrix Returns only because here's what I know. Every John Wick that we have seen has done two things exactly as I anticipated. One, it has increased the budget. And then two, it has shown me something I've never seen before, right? Whether it's a knife fight or horse swords
karate or whatever.
Like whatever we're talking about, it's shown me something I've literally never seen before. So John Wick Chapter 4, in my opinion, is that's going to stay the course. It's going to increase the budget of the movie. It's going to look great. It's going to sound great. It's going to be amazing. And it's going to show me something I've never seen before. The Matrix, on the other hand, that's a completely unknown quantity for me.
Yeah,
what they are up to 20 years after the fact, right? So I feel like I'd probably err on the side of the Matrix just because I'm like, I know, like, we're going to show up, John Wick Chapter 4, going to be there day one. The Matrix for me is like, ooh, I don't know about this. So I might go with that, but only slightly. Like, that's smallest
totally fair.
margin.
The big question of what if and the mystery of it being more compelling is totally fair. Whereas John Wick 4 is maybe a known quantity, but I just got to go with my honest gut, and it's John Wick Chapter 4 for sure.
All right. This is a weird one.
This is a weird one. This next question is a weird one, but I'm kind of into it.
All right, here we go. In your humble opinion, do you think that Keanu Reeves could nail Forrest Gump? I asked this because I recently rewatched it, and I reached the conclusion that Keanu, with a little effort, could deliver a great performance. I love the phrasing of this. Yes. With a little effort.
So here's the thing. I think that Forrest Gump would need to be changed a lot to play now like it did when it came out. It was perfect for the time that it was in, but now in hindsight feels a little bit over the top and cheesy. And it was definitely over the top and cheesy then, but in a way that sort of fit the zeitgeist. I feel like making it now would have to be changed a little bit. But I do think that Keanu Reeves' sort of visual internal monologue is great for characters who are on the spectrum. And he hasn't done much with characters who are on the spectrum. And now I don't know if Forrest Gump specifically is on the spectrum, but that's my read of watching Forrest Gump, is that he is to some degree autistic. I don't think he's simple because he's very smart in some ways. He just perceives the world a little bit differently. And I think that I would like to see Keanu play a character that is on the spectrum because I think he could do it well. So in that regard, I think he could nail Forrest Gump. I don't think he could do the same role that Tom Hanks did because I don't think that Keanu, with the exception of Bill and Ted, I don't think Keanu is a great goofy actor. And I think that his more serious stuff with this silent internal monologue has played much better for me overall than his sillier stuff. So that's my answer.
I agree. You know, you think about Keanu in that suit sitting on the bench, right? And it fits for me. Like that, the aesthetic there fits for me. And, you know, putting him, you know, inserting him into historical events like they did really, really well in Forrest Gump also, like shaking hands with the president and stuff. I like that, the whole thing. I agree. I feel like there'd be even less said, really, if he was doing the role. But I mean, it's tough because Forrest Gump, it was a pretty perfect film, like at the time in a bubble.
I don't want to remake it. I think that at the time it came out, in the way it came out, with who is in it, it was perfect for who and when and where, and I wouldn't want to change it.
All right. There you go.
I think he could.
Perfect. So following up on that a little bit, what is one film where Keanu never got to star in that Keanu would improve by starring in? Not Speed 2. Like that was the qualifier. It cannot be Speed 2. I understand.
I think you already answered this question without realizing it
did I?
Talking about the Coen brothers.
Which one?
Any of them.
I got it. Oh, God, I got it. You sparked it in my brain. So hands down, one of my favorite movies, like whenever it's on, I sit down, I focus, I'm in the zone. You can't talk to me for like 2+ hours, is No Country for Old Men. If Keanu played Anton Chigurh, which, don't get me wrong, the movie's perfect. Like everyone is cast perfectly, but Keanu in the role of that unstoppable psychopath. I would love to see that. That would be so friggin' good.
I would also like to see that. I think that's a very good call. I think that really any Coen Brothers movie, I could see Keanu replacing someone in a role. I don't see a lot of major roles, especially not Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Oh Brother, Where
Right.
Art Thou? The main three are perfect and should not
Yeah.
change. But I do think that that sort of very wry, tongue-in-cheek humor is something that we haven't seen Keanu do a lot of that I would like to see him be in. I think No Country for Old Men is a good call.
Yeah. Thank you for sparking that. I mean, it'll never happen, but like, I love everything about that movie. Yeah. That would be my choice. And it sounds like it's also, it's Whitney's choice as well. Let's do it. Okay. Who is the most beautiful of Keanu's? I'm just going to put this as George specified female. I'm just going to remove female. Who's the most beautiful of Keanu's co-stars? Whitney. Male or female, doesn't matter.
Halle Berry.
That's a lot. I'm looking. Oh, damn! That was
Halle
that was
Berry.
Not even front of mind for me, but literally one of the most recent ones, right?
Yeah, I mean that's part of it is she's one of the most recent ones, but also I've had a very long term. I've sat through a lot of Keanu Reeves bad movies to watch Halle Berry be in them. And like she's been in some not great stuff. She's also been in some fine stuff, mostly fine stuff. Not too much like super great stuff, but it's all because I have such a crush on her. So I was wildly excited for her to be in John Wick.
All right. I got two for you that you might not be expecting. And then I'll try to narrow it down to one. Are you ready? Here we go. Because we just talked about the movie. I'm going to pull out Marissa Tomei. Boom, from The Watcher.
For sure.
Okay.
Anyone who is our age that I know who has crushes on women has a crush on Marissa Tomei. So that is a very good answer.
All right. And then my other one, Rachel Weisz, Constantine. Boom!
Fair. I would definitely choose Sandra Bullock over Rachel Weisz personally.
Okay.
But that's a totally legitimate answer. I also have to agree with Melissa, who said Diane Keaton. Diane Keaton is gorgeous and a force unto herself. And she's like Tilda Swinton in a very different way, where she's sort of this unearthly, there's only one like her.
Yeah. I'm gonna lock in my answer as Marissa Tomei. But then I just did a Google search of his co-stars really quickly. The list is crazy.
The list is crazy.
Lori Petty from Point Break, Sandra Bullock, Aitana Sanchez Guijan from A Walk in the Clouds, Dina
She's
Meyer,
gorgeous,
obviously, Cameron Diaz from Feeling Minnesota. Can't forget Charlize Theron, who's multiple co-star, Carrie Ann Moss. So
I mean, a lot of attractive people. But definitely I have one answer and it's Halle Berry. And then I am going to give honorable mention to Diane Keaton.
Perfect. Yeah. Yep. That all checks out. All right. Okay. When do you think Keanu Reeves should retire from acting? The answer is never.
Never. That's the answer. Easy. One and done. I don't think anyone should retire from acting unless they want to retire from acting. I think that people who are still acting well into old age are still crushing it every time they do. It's really a matter of the industry letting you continue to act and being able to, pick and choose versus what you're forced into because you're of a certain age. I don't think Keanu should ever retire unless he wants to retire and then go for it. But I feel that way about anyone in Hollywood. Don't stop because you feel like you've gone too far or aged too much unless you're done doing it, in which case by all means retire and breed pugs or something. I don't know.
Whatever you're into. I would if he ever does choose to stop acting, I really hope that he would consider pursuing directing more, because we saw The One this season and it was great. And he's clearly very talented at it.
He
I
clearly
would
has
love to
a
see him.
viewpoint, and
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So even if he's not like actually Zoe just said, like, there is a finite amount of John Wicks left in a body, right? If you're 25, right, you could probably do a couple more John Wicks, but at 50, 60, 70, the John Wicks are going to slow down.
Harrison Ford and Crystal Skull.
No, you don't. Yeah, no, don't nuke the fridge, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And then our last question here is...
Last question from George.
Yeah, last question from George. Neo, John Wick, or Ted? Who's the one to rule them all? Whoa.
I think the very obvious answer is John Wick.
I'm going with Ted on this one, though. Ted is a master of time.
Mm-hmm.
He could take the gun out of John Wick's hand before he even pulls it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you'd have to be fast in addition to traveling through time. And I don't think Ted... I think those milliseconds between showing up in a phone booth and getting the gun out of his hand, I think John Wick would still have Ted.
I'm thinking, so it's not the greatest example, but you do remember in Bogus Journey when they just cut the corners where, like, you remember you put us in this cage? Well, we already unlocked it. It was unlocked 4 weeks ago. Like all that. I don't know. But yeah, it's probably John Wick, but I would love for Ted to be just like an all-powerful being. I think that's cool. That's
fair, but it's the wrong answer. It's John Wick.
Got it. All right. We have 2 more questions, and one of them we've actually already answered. So, Christine with a K says, is there any director that Keanu hasn't worked with that you'd like to see him collaborate with? And we actually did answer this one already, too. The Coen brothers. 100%.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
It could be one of their funny ones or their serious ones. I don't care.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I can't think of another director off the top of my head that would...
This would never happen, but I would love to see Keanu Reeves in a Jean-Pierre Jeunet film.
Wow. Do you have an idea for what that would be?
No, not even a little bit. But I just really like Jean-Pierre Jeunet films, and I think that the way that they're like whimsical with a dark undercurrent, and they're so unique and specific, and so many of his films are the characters' emotions happening on their face rather than through dialogue. I think Keanu Reeves could be a standout in a Jean-Pierre Jeunet film. Like, if you think of a darker version of Amelie, but starring Keanu Reeves, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now we're going to go into just a few real quick listener rankings. We asked everyone what they thought the best, worst, and most overlooked films of season 3 were. And we got a few answers back from you. So Zoe said the best is John Wick. The worst is Generation / Knock Knock. Choosing 2 is cheating, but also she's correct. Most overlooked, Man of Tai Chi. Also correct. Bonus, biggest frustration, Henry's Crime. And Zoe says, when I first saw this a few years ago, it annoyed the shit out of me that Keanu produced a film which had so much potential but missed the mark. Having heard you all talk about it with more analytical eye, I'm still no further along with it. I think that's a really great point. Jody says, best John Wick, worst Knock Knock, most overlooked, Man of Tai Chi. So we're seeing a consensus
patterns.
Melissa, best John Wick, worst Generation most overlooked, Street Kings.
Of course.
Street Kings, but Street Kings wasn't even in season 3. Melissa is
it not? Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's true. Hold on. I got it.
No, it was. It was episode 3. It was one of the first ones.
It just felt like 7,000 years ago.
It just really feels so long ago that I thought it was season 2.
Yeah.
But fair enough. Melissa, ever campaigning for Street Kings. Thomas or Tomas says, best John Wick, worst Exposed, most overlooked, The Day the Earth Stood Still.
What?
I can't get behind that, Tomas. I'm sorry. I cannot get behind The Day the Earth Stood Still being the most overlooked. But good for you. Okay. Stand in your convictions and live your truth. Christina with a K says best John Wick, worst Neon Demon, most overlooked Man of Tai Chi. So we definitely have a consensus there. Overall, everyone's like John Wick was the best, and the most overlooked is Man of Tai Chi, and I agree with that, with both of those things.
That's pretty much it.
And then we've talked about this before. There's some debate for me over what is the worst movie. And Generation and Knock Knock was a real sort of back and forth for me. But I, in the end, put Knock Knock is the worst movie. So it's that's what you guys had to say about season 3. And now it's time to, I think, get into the reckoning.
Oh, the reckoning. Oh, I'm ready. Let's reckon. I don't know how we want to do this, because do you just want to run through kind of...
Really, the only change that I know that I have to make is Johnny Mnemonic should be higher than it is. I got to figure out where in the higher ranking that's going, because it is not in my top 10, but I think it's just below my top 10. I'm very confident in John Wick, The Matrix, Speed, Much Ado About Nothing, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Constantine, Man of Tai Chi, Parenthood, Keanu, My Own Private Idaho.
Perfect.
I love that top 10. I think that's going to stay that way. I think I'm going to put... We've got The Matrix Reloaded and Point Break at 11 and 12. I think I'm going to put Johnny Mnemonic between Point Break and Tune In Tomorrow.
Whoa,
which is a really big jump.
I love it. Wow.
Really big jump.
That's
I have
crazy.
it at 27, and I am moving it up to 13.
That is, that is a jump. All right. How you feeling about the rest of those, that like second 10? I know we don't got to go into the whole list, but like that middle ground.
Reloaded, Johnny Mnemonic, Point Break, Tune In Tomorrow, Something's Gotta Give, A Walk in the Clouds. I think Something's Gotta Give might be lower. I think that A Walk in the Clouds, The Gift, The Lake House should all move up, and Something's Gotta Give should be below it. Because I think I really, really like Something's Gotta Give, and I've seen it before, but in really searching, what I'm going to watch again, I think Something's Gotta Give is lower.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah. Tune In Tomorrow, A Walk in the Clouds, The Gift. And I think I'm going to move The Lake House above Something's Gotta Give, too.
Oh, look at this, making moves.
Yeah. Chain Reaction is going to move up to 19. Between Something's Gotta Give and The Bad Batch. And
Top
then I
20.
think everything else is going to stay the same.
Interesting.
So then, we've got the top from 10 to 20. I've got The Matrix Reloaded, Johnny Mnemonic, Point Break, Tune In Tomorrow, A Walk in the Clouds, The Gift, The Lake House, Something's Gotta Give, Chain Reaction, and The Bad Batch. Then Henry's Crime, The Neon Demon, Private Lives of Pippa Lee, 47 Ronin, A Scanner Darkly, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Little Buddha, Permanent Record, The Replacements, and The Day the Earth Stood Still as my next 10. And all of that feels great. And then I don't really care about anything up until the last 3, which are still Ellie Parker, Generation and Knock Knock.
Perfect. The rest is just, well, wait a minute. What was the one that you said might move? Did you mention another one down here at the bottom that you thought might move
Johnny
up?
Mnemonic was the one that... Johnny Mnemonic was at number 27, and I moved it all the way up to...
I got it. In one of our episodes, I see it right here. Number 51 for you. You said you were going to consider it.
Feeling Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't
maybe.
think so.
Okay, perfect. Got it.
Yeah, because yours is a little bit higher, and I do think... maybe yes, above Prince of Pennsylvania. You know what? I will. No, I'm going to move it above Exposed. Between Sweet November and Exposed.
All right. That's a pretty good jump. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, it does move up a little bit. You're right.
All right.
How about you?
Boy, you got some moves going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you the biggest move, and it's a shame because Melissa just left.
Oh, Melissa, when you listen to this again, you're going to be so happy. Your campaigning has succeeded.
We're talking about Street Kings, and this is not a small move, okay? I have Street Kings at number 46. And the one thing I've
very low.
Yeah. The other thing I've learned this season is we've seen some not great films.
We've seen a lot of garbage.
Yeah. Which has made me reassess.
Like I did 10 through 30 and I was like, I don't give a care about anything from 31 to 54.
So Street Kings for me is going to move from number 46 up to number 34. So
all right.
That's quite a jump. I like it.
A jump.
It feels good, but that's where it should be, I think. So feels better up there. I hope Melissa is happy now. I had it at 40,
so I had it higher than you to begin with.
Yeah. That's a big one. Now, my top 10 very closely mirrors your own. John Wick, Matrix, Speed, Excellent Adventure, Point Break, Much Ado, Parenthood, Constantine, Man of Tai Chi, Keanu. None of those change. They're locked until season 4. And then it all changes.
Season 4, things will be changing.
Right. It's pretty good. Then we have The Replacements, Tune In Tomorrow, Matrix Reloaded, Something's Gotta Give, Neon Demon, Thumbsucker, Devil's Advocate, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Johnny Mnemonic, and The Lake House. I think I'm also going to bump The Lake House up to, it's at 20 right now. I'm thinking that feels better at around number 13.
Okay,
That movie has grown on me quite a bit. Again, an unexpected one that, you try to sell me on it. I'm like, rom-com? Time travel dog that has a command of space time? I don't think so. Maybe if you told me it had a dog that has a command of space time. If you
had worded it in that way in advance, I probably would have seen The Lake House a long time ago.
Yeah. It's just for processing all of that. It's like, yeah, if this was the pitch, that's great. The only other one that I'm going to move actually is, and it's just going to be a little downgrade. It's 47 Ronin. It's currently at number 27. I'm feeling like that's probably going to drop down to 31. No, 32. So, that's, it's a little move, but I think it's worth doing.
Yeah. My biggest move this season was definitely realizing that all of season 3 had pushed Johnny Mnemonic further and further and further down the list until it was quite a ways down the list, and that was not fair because I will watch Johnny Mnemonic again, and I will probably watch Johnny Mnemonic again before a lot of these other ones. And it's also not a film that you can necessarily fairly take a critical eye to.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
It kind of gets a pass as far as critique goes.
Hold on. Now I'm getting some flack here in the chat. What, Zoe, you got to clarify. I'm breaking your heart. Is this because I moved what? What did I just move? I can't even remember. I moved some things down a little bit.
Andrew.
You got to clarify. I got to know. I moved Street Kings up 13 positions. I don't know what else I could do. But I'm pretty much in agreement with you here. Ellie Parker exposed Last Time I Committed Suicide, Generation Knock Knock. Whew, that's rough chuckles down there at the bottom.
Rough chuckles. That's one way to describe it.
47 Ronin. That's me moving 47 Ronin down. That is what got Zoe heartbroken. But, we saw that back to back with Man of Tai Chi. It had a lot to live up to. And
it did
not
have
saying
a lot to
that they're
live up to.
comparable films. It's just, I don't know. We had come off the high of Man of Tai Chi, and it was just like, nah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that might be it
Yep, it is. So let's talk about next season.
Oh, next season.
It's small, but it is mighty.
Oh my God. Yeah. Next week, we kick it off with a film called To the Bone. Whitney will be hosting that one.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I'm going to make a note here. That is watch partyable. We can do a watch
let's
party.
Watch party it.
Here's what I'm going to suggest, though. While I'm reading off the rest of these, do a Google search of this movie, read the synopsis, and you tell me if you think you want to do it. Because I want you to know what we're getting into. It is a drama, and it's about something. So, but the remaining 9 episodes after that looks like this. We have John Wick Chapter 2, A Happening of Monumental Proportions, Siberia, which is watch partyable, Destination Wedding, which is watch partyable, Replicas, Toy Story 4, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, Always Be My Maybe, which is watch partyable, and Between Two Ferns, which is watch partyable. So, oh my God.
We got a lot of watch party stuff going on. I'm definitely down for To the Bone.
Okay, cool. So maybe this weekend, because I want to make sure that we can kind of get as many people as possible, we'll try to get something scheduled where we can have a watch party for To the Bone. That'll just be our like Netflix with the chat bar thing open, and we'll just we'll hang out. We'll have some gin or whatever.
I don't know that it's going to be as fun as Man of Tai Chi was, but it's definitely. I think let's do a watch party anytime we can do a watch party, even if only 1 or 2 people can show up. I had such a blast doing the Man of Tai Chi watch party that I'm anxious to do another one.
The chat is going crazy. Siberia watch party. So I don't know if you've ever watched a bad movie with friends. It makes the movie better. So.
Yeah, I think that if there's anything that can get all of us through Siberia, which I have not seen, but the chat has talked a lot about every time that we've done a live episode of this, there has been talk about Siberia coming up and how we're going to feel about Siberia. But I can guarantee you that if you're going to get through it, it's going to be more fun with all of us and probably some gin wine, like Jody says.
Gin wine, I love it.
We'll put some gin and some wine, and we will bash it together. If
I don't know,
that's how we feel about it. I don't know.
We'll just go ahead and do it.
No, it's shite. So
I know, but
you don't have to come, Zoe, but you can if you want to.
We would love to have you, even if it's just you slamming this movie the whole time, right? More. What is the thing? Friends shorten the journey, you know? A companion shortens the journey, as it were.
Yeah, just load the movie up in your browser and then mute the movie and just join the chat.
Join the chat, yeah.
Watch a different movie what it's all about. While you're in the chat with us. John Wick 2, super excited about. John Wick 3, super excited about. Always Be My Maybe, excited about. I'm very excited about Destination Wedding because so many people, including I think Jody, have advocated so hard for Destination Wedding, and I've held off because I want my first reaction to be for the podcast.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've actually never seen Destination Wedding either. So
yeah,
again, it was not, it falls into that rom-com situation that is not really. I also
have not seen Between Two Ferns, so.
If you like I could just say if you had seen any of the individual Funny or Die videos and you found any of them.
I've seen episodes of Funny or of the Between Two Ferns. It's not, I like it. It's not my choice of humor, but right. I have enjoyed every one that I've seen. So like, I would not go out of my way for it, but particularly the Obama one, awkward humor is not always my bag where it's like, yeah. Who can be the most embarrassed? It's not right, curiously something I get thrills out of.
That's absolutely fair. I would say the movie dials that back a little bit in order to kind of get a story, and I'm air quoting super hard there. But it's got a lot of recognizable faces in it. Lauren Lapkus is like one of the funniest women in the world, and she plays a pretty major role. So it's great. It's great. We have a couple other bonus episodes we're going to be working in for non-movie related stuff. We have John Wick Hex.
Video games.
Yeah. Cyberpunk 2077. That'll be in the fall at some point. And I'm sure you'll be able to hear Whitney talk about that on Almost Better Than Silence as well. So that'll be great. So
now it's time to finally reveal.
It was a lot. It took a lot to get here.
It
right?
did. We have had so many conversations about this over the last couple of months because we knew the last season was coming up. We knew the last season was going to be half the length of the season 3. So we knew that we had to really start having the discussion early and often about the different candidates and let people write in. And we've had a lot of deliberation about this with all of the guest hosts. We've talked to everybody. We've talked amongst ourselves. It's been a hard answer to come by, but I feel very excited about who we're covering next.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you I'm gonna tee you up with it. I have a drum roll sound effect that I got just for this, and then as soon as you just yell, and then we'll go from there, and hopefully people will not riot in the streets. All right,
I don't think they will.
All right, here we go.
Russell!
Kurt Russell! I hope you like Kurt Russell. He's got the same initials as Keanu Reeves.
You know what? It's okay if you don't, though. Because what we were looking for is somebody whose movies are so all over the map, who is as experimental with roles as Keanu is, whose career covers just such a huge, wide amount of subject matter, but also who has done some really big cult, like standard in cinema history for one reason or another. Kurt Russell is that person.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Kurt Russell movies that I have seen. There's a lot that I haven't seen. I love the idea that we're going to start with all of his old Disney movies. What the Computer Wears Tennis Shoes is one of them.
Yes.
I think he was in the one and only genuine original Family Band, which I loved when I was a child, but haven't seen since I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
So we've got old school Disney, like Swiss Family Robinson type Disney movies. And then we're so all over the map from there.
Yeah.
So many different kinds of movies.
You have seen a Kurt Russell movie that you liked. I guarantee it.
Yes.
And if you like him in one, you will like him in another. Off the top of my head, The Thing. Escape from New York or LA.
I only just saw Escape from New York in the last 6 months or so. And I loved it. Like loved it so much more than I thought I was going to. Who doesn't like Big Trouble in Little China? Like, even if it's not your favorite movie, you like Big Trouble in Little China. But there's also like Overboard and rom-com stuff. There's also Backdraft. Like, there's so many different kinds of things that he's
Tango
been
and
in.
Cash. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Tango and Cash. That might just be me, though.
And I haven't seen Escape from LA, so I want to see more Snake Plissken. So I also really loved, not all of it, but I really loved the Kurt Russell playing Hot Santa for Netflix. And the Christmas Chronicles.
It was a great movie.
It was a great role. I didn't love the kids, but I loved Kurt Russell. And I loved the Goldie Hawn as Mrs. Claus.
And you know what I'm just realizing now also? We made reference to it on our last episode for The Bad Batch, but he was in the movie Silkwood. And we were talking about Silkwood showers. So it's just a weird thing. But yeah, he's worked with a lot of different directors, just like Keanu. He has done comedies and genre things.
Yeah.
He's worked on big movies and small movies.
Yeah.
Mostly big movies.
And
recently,
I definitely think that neither of us like Kurt Russell the way that we like Keanu Reeves. But I think when you're looking for somebody whose movies take us to so many different kinds of places like Keanu does, Kurt Russell is an amazing choice for that, like going through his career.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people still left on the board. So if we get through Kurt Russell with all of you and you still want more, there's any number of people we could do after that.
It's a pretty crazy list of talent that we have. Yeah.
The other people that we have that are potentials.
All of you sent in. I have the list. Hold on. If you vamp for a moment, I can here's what we were dealing with. The circus. Yeah, I love it. Here's who we were dealing with here. And this was just like what was submitted very recently. Hugo Weaving, that was ours. Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise.
That was like our original when we were talking about in like the very first episode of this podcast, who has a career as varied as Keanu, and Hugo Weaving came up in that conversation. So he's been in our minds since the beginning.
Yeah. Tilda came up, Natalie Portman, Cate Blanchett.
Tilda Swinton for sure. I think she's a really good one. I think it would be fun to do one for a woman next.
Yeah, swooning for Swinton, something like that. I don't know. Christopher Walken, Nicolas Cage came up, Bill Murray, Danny DeVito. I think that was Jody's suggestion. I can't be sure about that. But we had it was a massive list of people. And ultimately, Kurt Russell felt right. So,
Yep. Kurt Russell just feels right. I think we're going to be all over the map with Kurt, and it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, so that's what you have to look forward to. Now, I could tell you almost precisely when that's going to happen because I have the schedule here. Between Two Ferns will be released on August 27th, and that will be until we get Bill and Ted Face the Music, I guess, the last episode of Cool Breeze Over the Mountains for a bit.
We will keep making Keanu episodes as long as there's Keanu to talk about.
Yeah, you can expect whatever we decide to call this Kurt Russell podcast, because naming stuff is the hardest part. In early September. So, and we'll just keep it rolling from then. We'll probably have a couple episodes in the bank. We'll be watching Keanu's last movies and Kurt's simultaneously. So it'll be interesting to do. So
yeah,
I hope y'all are as excited as we are, because this feels great.
I'm hype about it. I don't know about all y'all, and I'm sorry if you're not hype, but I think you should get hype because it's going to be fun.
Yeah. We have some cool, you're going to hear some familiar voices, some cool new ones. Hopefully we'll join. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. We reckoned. We answered questions. We ranked stuff.
This is by far the longest reckoning we've had.
We did a lot, and it's thanks to the listeners. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we wouldn't have had 70% of the content for this episode without you guys writing in all of your questions and opinions and stuff, and we love it. So keep it coming, even if it's not a reckoning.
Yes, and also if you have it enabled where you can send us voice tweets, do that.
Yeah,
because this is an audio medium.
We love it.
So of course, let's do it. We want to hear from you. I think that brings us to the end. Is there anything else? Do you have any closing thoughts, Whitney?
No.
Anything at all?
No, I've said all my thoughts.
All right. Well, where can people find you on the internet? What do you got going on?
I am at Whitney_Nelson, NELSEN on Twitter. And Historical Hotties is my other main podcast baby with my sister, Lindsay, who you may recognize from this very podcast. She's guested several times now. And that's at Historically Hot on all social media and historicallyhot.com. Almost Better Than Silence. I haven't been on in a while. I've had a real rough time as of late. So I've been kind of backing off from social media as well as podcasting, but I'm hoping to get back more into it because hopefully within the next 2 weeks, everything is going to be resolved, but we'll see.
Prayer hands emoji times infinity.
Yeah. So. It's not been an easy time in the Whitney camp, but I think we're on the upswing soon. We're still not there yet, but
Oh, Zoe asked a very important question. Hey, where is Charles? And Charles is in the void, but we
did not pull him out of the void for the reckoning, but we are going to pull him out for a very, very special episode of Pop Quiz Everyone.
It's going to be good. And also, Charles will announce the season 3 winner. I didn't want to do that because it's not my game anymore. It's Charles' game. So I don't know what the process is, but we've been keeping scores, and it was a close one, but we're going to announce the top 3, I guess, whatever, everyone who participated. So it's going to be really great.
It's such a stressful process going in and out of the void that we don't want to do it unless we have to pull him out. It really takes a lot of wear and tear on poor Charles to come in and out of his void.
Yeah. So that's that. But next week, we will announce the winners of season 3. Obviously, we'll have a truncated season 4 and we'll do some fun stuff. But be on the lookout for Pop Quiz Everyone, I guess is what we're going to...
I mean, we don't need to call it that, but it is...
I kind of like it, though.
I like it, too. We are melding Pop Quiz Asshole and Pop Quiz Audience together. And we are doing general Keanu trivia that we haven't covered yet, past movies trivia that we haven't covered. We're going into a lot of different things that we haven't talked about yet for trivia, and it's going to be an all trivia only episode. So
it's very exciting. So we will tweet out all the details and what you need to do and what you need to sign up for to do all that. It's a little bit of friction, but I think we can make it work. So, you can find me on the internet at Dark Driving. Twitter and Instagram are the best 2 places to do that. Obviously, at Cool Breeze Pod, keep sending all of the good vibes and all that stuff. And
keep your fingers crossed for me that I finally get some unemployment money. Everybody,
right?
I need your good vibes, please.
Yeah, do that. That's a wrap for season 3. Oh my gosh,
we did.
Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna press this button right here, like I always do. Oh, chat, you are the best. All the listeners, everyone who wrote in with questions and everything, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us live. And in the words of Bill S. Preston and Ted Theodore Logan, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.